Thank you for that lovely welcome, Dean Mitchell. And now I make a welcome for someone very special. Doreen Granpeesheh is the founder of the Center for Autism and Related Disorders, or CARD, known internationally for its work in autism treatment. CARD currently provides services in California, Illinois, Virginia, New York, Arizona, Australia, New Zealand, and partnerships in Dubai and Johannesburg. Dr. Granpeesheh is also the founder and president of Autism Care and Treatment Today, a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising funds for necessary autism treatment for families in need. Since its formation 6 years ago, ACT Today has donated over $1 million to such families. Dr. Granpeesheh began studying autism as an undergraduate at UCLA, where she also earned a Ph.D. in 1990. While there, she worked on a groundbreaking study that showed a recovery rate of close to 50% among participants who received early intensive behavioral intervention. Dr. Granpeesheh is the 2011 recipient of the American Academy of Clinical Psychiatrists Winnaker Award. She has published numerous papers in the scientific literature and is recognized as one of the nation's, indeed the world's, experts. She sits on the board of many autism organizations, and we are proud to have her on the board of UC Riverside's Search Family Autism Resource Center. Finally, she is a colleague and friend, and I'm delighted to introduce her to you today. Welcome, Doreen.
Thank you, Professor Blatcher. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you, Dean Mitchell and Chancellor White. It's really an honor for me to be here. It's amazing. I love your campus. It's beautiful here today. Congratulations, graduates. What an amazing time in your life. Some of you are probably wondering, who is this lady and why is she giving us a commencement speech? Okay, I have no idea either. I'm wondering the same thing. But I'm very, very honored that I was invited here, and I see this as an amazing opportunity for me to share with you perhaps a few things that I've learned in my life, and I hope that some of you at least might remember a couple of the points I made here. When I was sitting on that side at UCLA, I don't even remember who gave our commencement speech. I don't remember much about the graduation ceremony at all because I was just too excited. I'm sure all of you are as well. So I gave a lot of thought to this, and there are two messages that I want to get through to you in the next 6 minutes or so. So I was 14 years old when I came to this country. I was born in Iran, and in the late 70s in Iran there was a revolution, and from one day to the next, where our life was very similar to what your life is right now here in the United States, we were suddenly taken over by a very radical religious Islamic group, and the whole country became the Twilight Zone. And so from one minute to the next, our lives changed, and many of us left the country and came here in order to start new lives and in order to live in a place that's safe. So my parents sent me here, and unfortunately they got stuck there, and as many people did in those days, they had to sort of go into hiding for a couple of years in order to try to sell all their things and get out here. So I was here, I was 14, I finished my last year of high school here in the United States, and I entered UCLA when I was 15, and I had no contact with my parents for 2 years. So if you can imagine, it was a very scary and confusing world. I'm pretty sure you probably have the same kind of classes we did at UCLA, where there were at least, 300, 400 people in the class. And, being 15, I wasn't necessarily making all the best decisions for my own life, but I knew that I have to get a job, so I started to work at the donut shop at the North Cafeteria at UCLA, where I earned $3.60, by the way, which was minimum wage back then. And then I met some friends who introduced me to some music group called Genesis, which is still one of my favorite groups. And I started traveling. I decided to travel. On my second quarter at UCLA, I decided it would be more important for me to go and see Genesis in 5 different cities. I was 15, let's not forget. Okay, so my GPA ended up becoming 1.3, subject to dismissal. Now, let's fast forward 11 years. Somehow I managed to pass, and I was very lucky that I landed a position with Professor Ivar Lovas, who was the most well-known expert in the field of autism. And of course, by the time I graduated UCLA, my life had completely changed. In fact, studying with Professor Lovas at UCLA formed the entire future of my life and my career. Now, why am I telling you guys all of this stuff? The reason I'm telling you this is that you have to understand and believe that everything actually happens for a reason. If you have failure, if you have difficulty, anything that happens in your life is there for you to learn, okay? So my very first message to you is be brave, because there will be difficulty, and every difficulty is an absolute blessing. Because think about it, if everything in life came to you easily, you'd actually never learn much. When times are difficult, you learn, and you change, and you grow. So take that, and you will thrive. Be brave. Now for my second quick message. I'm running out of time. So a lot of you guys have worked very, very hard to get your master's and your doctoral degree. And you know what? Yes, your education or your formal education may now have actually ended. But going forward, you guys now have the most amazing opportunity. Do you remember a teacher that changed your life? We all have someone like that in our lives, maybe even 2. You guys are those people now. You are the people who will actually go out and make a difference in someone else's life. I give lectures and speeches all the time, and I have to tell you, I don't think I've ever spent as much time worrying about a speech as this one, because I found this to be an amazing opportunity for me in 6-7 minutes to be able to say something that maybe would change one of your lives. One of you might remember these 2 words going forward: be brave and change someone else's life for the better. If you do those 2 things, I promise you, you will have a wonderful future. Congratulations.